We have just begun to turn this entire thing around. When we left the floor, and again, now already, what's accurate here? What time did we leave the floor? When we left the floor to pass the final bill, which was either yesterday, was the day before yesterday, at about 4 o'clock, I'm going to guess. They had the roll call pretty much in the same way they did it at 1 o'clock in the morning when it passed the first time. They opened the roll, closed the roll pretty quickly, but I did get a chance to vote this time. And we left the floor with a couple of things on our minds. Number one, we didn't know what we passed. They called that special conference committee meeting the day before to determine exactly what would be stripped from the bill, what is a non-fiscal item, so that the Senate could pass it with a simple majority rather than the 2/3 majority the fiscal items require. So they stripped the fiscal items, so to speak, at about 4:15 and about 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. And then we were called to the floor for 11 o'clock the next day. That quickly it happened. So in the meantime, in the interim time, we had no paper documents, we had no summaries, we had little innuendo of items or paragraph numbers of what was taken out, but we really didn't know what was in the bill, what was left in the bill. We knew that collective bargaining, the removal of collective bargaining rights was in the bill. And we knew that the so-called emergency powers, which gives the governor's appointee the ability to determine the threshold for most medical assistance programs, thereby possibly eliminating up to 64,000 people from the rolls. We knew that was in the bill. So by and large, we knew it was bad, but we didn't really know how bad. The other thing was that I had to be out of the building on Thursday morning, and I knew I had to be on the floor at 11. I had been in touch with staff. So at 10 o'clock, I'm outside trying to get in, and they would not let me in. I am at a door with my ID pressed up against the glass, and I am screaming my head off. I am an elected representative to represent the 74th district. Let me in. And they wouldn't open the door. I had to determine which way I would be allowed to go, because you have to stop and show your tag in order to get from floor to floor. I thought, the clock is ticking in my head. I'm thinking, can I go up to my office and get my laptop and run down? So no, I decided to call staff. So I called staff. Staff met me down there. In the interim, I was separated from my jacket, my purse, my papers, and my laptop by the time I got to the floor. So I'm sitting on the floor. I mean, this is total chaos. And then the circus begins, the same thing. The same thing. They told us, and this is the Speaker of the House, told us that we would be allowed 2 hours to debate the bill. Unprecedented. Unprecedented. Everybody was just cheering, and they were so excited. They knew it passed, but they knew, we knew, and I want you to know, it starts now. We entered that caucus room with Jesse Jackson. He was with us. No crying, no woe is us, no nothing. We sat down and we started. We were energized, we are ready to go, and my message to you is that every single one of us has a role to play. Every single one of us. And it's going to be very, very different roles. Everybody can do something. Many of you have started right now. You came here today, you signed up for the Democratic Party. Fabulous. Get a couple more people to do that. The more we can get, the better. It's an excellent thing to start to do. The Democratic Party organizations in the North are reaching out to the others. There's a very interesting system of emails going from the Chequamegon Dems to the Sawyer County Dems to the Washburn Dems. I'd like to bring the Iron County Dems into it too. They need to be brought into the loop. And everybody's energized and looking at what's happening and where are the recall petitions and where's the next rally and when is Kloppenburg coming. Because all of those things are important. All of those things are critical. People ask me, what are we going to do now? And we are going to do everything, and we're going to do it all at once. It is so let's start to think about the things that we're going to do. Number one, we're going to just start to get organized, and that's happening very, very well. We're going to reach out to each other so that we can simply, easily find out what's going on, where can I help, who's doing it. And there are a couple of email lists and there are organizations. Let's share those with each other. There's a very good website called Wisconsin Democracy. Is that the one that has the calendar? We should make all of these things available. Can somebody tell me, is it Wisconsin Democracy? Or Defend Wisconsin, I think.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And I'm here to energize you as well. We have amassed over 1,000 volunteers in the last couple of weeks who are helping us to reach out to people, to get out the vote. I'm here to ask you to join them to help us roll out to victory on April 5th. And I'm going to spend just a few minutes to remind you how important this race is and how I'm approaching this race and what we can all do together to make history with this race. As you all know, on December 8th, the Prosser campaign issued a statement saying that his re-election would preserve the conservative majority on the court and complement the work of Scott Walker and the Republican legislature. Within 1 hour, our campaign issued a press release denouncing that statement. And to audiences to whom I've spoken ever since, I have told them what that campaign has said and why it is so wrong. But nothing that I can say is as powerful as what the people of Wisconsin, what you have been saying in Madison and around the state the last month. None of the words that I can use to express why that's so wrong, that the court exists to advance the political agenda of the executive and legislative branches. No words I can use are as eloquent as the voices that you and other people have raised around the state these last few weeks. The court, when I go around and talk to people, and we've put on, I think, we've put on over about 8,000 miles now. We're driving my mother-in-law's Buick around the state. People tell me they want the court to be nonpartisan, non-political. They do not want justices approaching cases looking for outcomes that will please or favor one party or the other. Justice Prosser's been very upfront. He has said he has the most partisan background of all the justices on the court. He has touted his accessibility to this legislature and its leaders and to the governor. His campaign has recently said that this race is just about preserving a 4-3 conservative majority versus a 3-4 liberal majority. We all know that this race is about a whole lot more.